Kublai phi baroj katup khubor jungi ka DBMN TV. Kimat ki pakongsan ta kasngi kilong. Ki jersey ka sarkar MDA haka khayi dawlong to. Nang bun ki jingkan tho nang klan ke NPP ong uba praston. Sngolam uba praston ki ba hayen jong uba HDR lungdo. Ban balai leben ke NPP ban BJP ki samla ha Meghalaya hadu katni kili usachen pilot. Tumantanya phaj ki khubor ki bakhamania. Naka right to information RTI balayo da uba John Frankie Rambai urang ba Tremon Sngobahan nongpo ulapan mi madan haka arphuai tere RYMPHANG ki juba bulayo naka jingpan RTI jung halor ki jingti bat ki kam khayito ye udoyong na Meghalaya shaki yo ki hat shabar ka jilla uni urang ba ulayat hu hakilat pathai khubor halor ki jersey bat ki kam jabo jaka sarkar MDA halor kani ka jingti bat jing khayito bat de bean ye udoyong shabar jilla Uret hu bakita ki high level ki babat lakam ban penyat jakane ka kam jabo ki kenthop yo menteri rangba u konrat sangma bar ka ken hol menteri sarkar jong u katanat mining and geology transport department bat police department uba John Frankie Rambai ulet hu ruba kinong trei jong kini ki high level gidon nadu kli sharu utrai jong ka sarkar MDA ban pen bakita ki kam khaitu ki yat bet bat ki tersiang halanti klemdon ba penwen Halantiya jengki truk ke doyong tu kila download kinong tray jengki niki high level ulaong. Uni urang ba ulaong ru hadu kanu kini ki high level kila kejet bat lute ka spa ka jela ka badai ban pelut na ka benta ki pat ba kum ki school ki hospital ki surok tulop nong hikai bat kiwe ki jindon kam tang salade bat chaka yeng ka sam ka jongki.
Press conference ki Shillong illegal transportation of Meghalaya khamtam hakini ki arsenal siteng. Tebalai bangan hakwan hakmat tempi ki press kalong ba ngasim ya kene kalat bagane kade gari demokrasi kade demokratik ngamla bangsyong hapo sekretariat hapo assembly banyak pun persya yaki te ngasim ba kane ka RTI ka bangale manga uni ukulom bangala penengkam indri bilut suka perthai bahadu katno kaskam Meghalaya kadon bagane ka bahetan kaskam nong ipi kane to Kerteng juga kadai John Frankie Rambai nanongpo ngasih tray eksportor lu ngasih penyak doyong habis nang di pemensyua di Henry Hadin balajur pelat keneka jinglong illegal apa Meghalaya semula syukur tray to nalale eka RTI inquiry haka arku kendai tarik September ajar aku ka RTI juga kadai department mining and geology government of Meghalaya haka biadai buat auction pool lalai ke India lembaga DMR di yakani ke department haka RTI ngalap baka portfolio babat yakani ke department it is in the hand of kadai page jung chief minister jungi di kontrak sangma u chairman di ba jigur marthong bat ki officer ki banginon kam han ban short teng di haka RTI ka bangalap manga kani ke page ba ki respond yana kala ulong lupa violate of the norm ba ichkisha ka RTI habang apan ha kontak tarik September lade ban reply yang within given time kata ka desi benai rei ki delay hadu kendai kusni kidang ai ka RTI yang ki sen yang ha ka arpu sau tarik December tik sawan cuti Christmas New Year ngadang you receive haka ya ka kopi na po department hadu January sau tarik balik gile komta namar ba nganam yo tan ban interfere ya kam ga bagi penyak ya doyong kelas sedang penyak ya ka ar penyo tarik December da ka shalan jong ready sutengah tingat ong ipi menta ba ka iko point ka bangalap mga as per information RTI Act 2005 applied by me on 29 September from Mining and Geology Department which is under the portfolio in charge by our Chief Minister Sri Komar Sangma the successful bidder of the auction of coal India Limited ki successful bidder ki mut ki bidding ki job ka bidding ki trisalan ki bangiong all over Meghalaya mdei tang na kliat na west parok ka ka Meghalaya they are equally accountable nexus with the government to manipulate the system to be corrupted with the blessing of the government political vendetta political thief
Uba Prastun Tensong Deputy Chief Minister ka jilla haka arphuai tere RYMPHANG ulayat hu baka jingsha kan tho ka parti NPP haki babon ki parti ki badon lang haka sarkar di ki badon haka liang persya ka peni bangi klan ulaong bakate ka jingkan tho jongki ka peni babon ki tieng ya ka NPP Ulaong ka shisha kan sa pau haka artarik ula ber lagi pa ba kidang syania na ya ka NPP. Ulaong manuban shimti ka ki Chief Minister hadir ke election kinong yalam ke NPP kin sa syong ban perkhat ban jet ya unong yalam. Uba prestun ula pensyaya ka jingken tho jong Home Minister kari India u Amit Shah baka jela Meghalaya ka de ka ba bamsap. Ulaong baka ni ka de tang ka jingpen tho bria ya ka jela bat ya ka NPP ka ba yalam ya ka sarkar.
Jematan pai syaka pang jong in election. Na try barok na kalian jong PPE. Ya ka jing syak no syaka jing syak antha jong ka parti NPP. Piong na kalian ki ruling ki partner jong ini. Lada piong na kalian jong ki opposition. Kum ka TMC, kum ka Kongres, ka jingken tha kalong bay day shu yanu yanuru, ray day bay ya ka parti NPP. De kamtam nakaliang jong ki ruling partners jongi, kabala de piong ka BJP, piong ka UDP, piong ka PDF, piong ka HSPDP, piong ka NCP, kibaya don lang kibi tray lang bani. Kamtam ya UCM bat yang dan renga kwa ban pensyai pai ba akan ngapor lang ba jong pi ki perlok na kay media kalong ba kajing kawang keti yangi ka ba mot ka pensyai kedar ka pau syai kedar ba ka parti NPP ka klaim ha baro keleng saudong ke jela Meghalaya jongi hajan baro ki konsensi nak kata daw ka pelong ya kini ki we ke parti ki shaping ki smith ba ki ai la ni ki ai kata kajing penthok bria ka balai pujai lai puskit kajing keno ka balai pujai lai puskit den rei ka bangakwa ban ong epi akan ekor ki aka barok ki allegation ki aka barok ki tu kajing kren ban keno ban kentai ya ka parti NPP kajing shisha ka sapau ha ka arterik jong kasngi bengin nyawut ha ka ba ki pai ba nang scan kelas kutu kila kren kila Prisong nong rimba nama day tang hapo kejelam jong konrad kejelam jong ba prestun bang ilashim yiki isu ki bang judan manu ki pulut ka parti banul bansim lar piong sapang ka tem motor lar piong sapang ka boundary isu lar piong yiki we isu ki baya day wat ka ILP ka baya day bat ka tu ka ketin khasi ketin karu kabamon nakaliang jong ka NPP led government day mangi masim yak initiative day mangiru ubara wat hapo assembly ban yakren yakini keke prokon tingay idon nakaliang joga BJP kade katam kaba kibu haga mention na ka manifesto joki kaba iban penbin hanaba ngin sim yakini subject ILP haba mentala sausnem duna nila pa sa Delhi hapo jisya jongka BJP hangila ali kendu duna shu yakin nyau prasin UCM mangar kat kikoli nilai ban yakendu ban penkemau ya ka LP ta naman ngiti kena bengin cross ya ka live sausi but sisin mingyo kamta kamon ngin sensyar marwe kata ba syai kada ngin sensyar marwe ngim not kam ye nur but ngin sensyar da ka ba khoi dak basuba but kam tam ba ngin ai ya ka stability but kumju ru ka governance ka babhatam habangiyo single majority hakan ka tem ka
Uba prestun tensong Vice President ke NPP ula pha ekjing ngolem shki bahye hasam jong uba horjudan kupar roy lingdo ukertong ka UDP na soyong constituency halor ka jingklat kendit jong uni urang ba.
Friends, thank you so much. Pia wan ng puan ng bata kanika press conference. Kabana kalian jong ka parti NPP kabang kwa ban ai ka KHUBOR kanika puan. Hagwede bat kanika election kabang salong hata arpinutrik. Di swaban po siya tang atray na kaliang jongi kapating lapha kichin swalem ya way u senior leader jongka parti UDP ibangit juhod i mahe HDA lumdong ublay bit ban simno i menin kamit din na kaliang jo kapating lapha ya kichin swalem bat menta na kaliang jongaro lapha kichin swalem ya kayin kasen ya kimi lok jongi ya ki kun ya ki men ki para ban kumju ya ki pai bang jong ka soyong konsensi barokoi ban agreement scam mau blay undorangkat bat ka konsensi na kabat ka ye kasen jong imahe HDA ndo i bau blay ula ibet ban simno i kendit menin ka jangit hapo hospital bitan
Usahan pilot unayalam ka Kongres ubala longteng menteri barem ka sorkar pedeng ulabu jingkli ka sorkar MDA bayalam da ke NPP bat ka BJP halor ka phang bayadei bat ka jingkenrei ka jingkerdu kam kerdu jam jong kisamla Meghalaya ulakli kali ayu ke NPP bat BJP hakini kisan senam balala haba kila leben hadu ka ni ye kisamla jong ka ni ka jela haba keren bikilar pathai KHUBOR Shillong usahan pilot ula ongru ba menta pat kite ki parti kilawan ban kular kam kular jam shua ka election usahan pilot ula keren ban perta election naga menta ukertong Kongres ba JA lengdo na North Shillong Maukar constituency hakandailat hagajing lang pat ba balum krui kinong sngap yu ula penken mawe ki pat ba ka baong dai tang ka Kongres ka seng ka perkhat imsngi bat pendut por ban kentie ki red pat bat ki rangli ki juki ki he spa kumbalong ki way pat ki seng menta.
To visit Meghalaya and Shillong and meet the wonderful people here. Today I've come to raise a few issues in front of you, and I think they're important in the context of the voters making up their minds as to which party and what government can take the state forward for the next 5 years. We've had a previous government here in Meghalaya, which was also voted by the people of the state. But those parties that came together, promising and committing themselves to the development of the state, to provide jobs, economic development, growth, etc. Those same very people today are pulling in different directions, accusing each other of corruption. I think that people want to ask the question that for 5 years when you work together as a team, at that point, there were no concerns about the corrupt practices, about the allegations that we are seeing today. And I think this mass migration of elected representatives happening from one party to another party is something that doesn't argue very well for our polity. And this state is a wonderful, peace-loving, progressive state. People of Meghalaya are looking for a government, for a party that can actually hold everyone together. And I'm absolutely confident the way that the Congress party has given its candidates this time. In fact, I'm told this is the youngest ever candidate list in the history of Meghalaya. Congress party has deliberately given tickets to young men and women, qualified professionals who have conviction and principles, who are committed to the people, who will really usher in a new era for the state of Meghalaya. I'm told about 10 of our seats out of 60 we have given to women for the first time. So equal participation of young people, professionally qualified individuals and women, I think will reflect the true demography of the state. Potential that we have in the state has not been explored. I think every party, especially the last government, whether it's the BJP or the NPP or other partners, they were quite focused on how to politically realign themselves only to stay in power. The Congress, I think, is committed to enhancing the IT sector, the tourism sector, the economic growth, the investment, the job creation that young people in this city, in this state are aspiring for. The BJP has been in government for the last 8.5 years in New Delhi. They had a government here. And the BJP always talks about this double engine sarkar. Well, they had the opportunity here where they had two governments and double engine. And yet, at the time of elections now, they've gone apart and are doing this finger pointing game. So the BJP stands totally exposed to my mind, because why BJP, it has the electoral bonds are designed in such a way to help the incumbent, and majority of the money that comes for donations, in fact, if I'm not wrong, about 90% of the money goes to the BJP, and the BJP makes no bones about deploying the resources. But money alone, I think, cannot win elections. Here is a state where people have emotions, they have understanding of the cultural heritage, of the traditions of the state, who are committed and who are partners in their joy and sorrow. Those sentiments actually play a big role. And therefore, that's why I say that people who come now, I think even the Honorable Prime Minister is visiting here, I think the Home Minister is here. But what are they offering? Except for empty promises for the future. That begs the question that jab aap satta mein the for 8 years in Delhi and 5 years here, what did you do that time? So that question remains unanswered. All these flowery speeches and promise of the future is all well and good. But what about when you had the chance, when the opportunity? However you may have formed the government, but you had power. What did you do that time? And what happened to your partners that you were sharing power for 5 years and now suddenly you are accusing each other? It shows that it is pure, simple, selfish, power-centric game. deploy resources, take on opponents when the time suits you, and then part ways when it doesn't suit you. And who's to say that post-election they will not realign again? No one is committing to that. I think even the BJP is not saying no to anybody. So this open-ended game of political maneuverability and buying and having people cross over, the state has seen enough of that. So I think that one stable, strong ideology is the Congress party, and therefore people will vote for a candidate.
Dr. Mukul Sangma nong yalam kaseng All India Trinamool Congress AITC haka arphoi tarik RYMPHANG ulak keno iki menteri ka sarkar MDA bakila kelalong ki agent khendau ha bakila thiet praspa hinyau akar ka jaka hasnong mau kanu mau pedang hakador ka ba 100% tengka shiput nagi trai jaka karba kila khendor saka sarkar prapusan tengka shiput Dr. Mukul ulaong yakani kador prapusan tengka shiput la menjur daka kabinet haka saw tarik urisau arhajar arphoi Ki menteri ki badan benta badan keti hakani ka kam khai khendau ki kenthop yo menteri rangba ukonrat ki sangma u menteri ki kam urban affairs bat u menteri ki kam revenue u Dr. Mukul ula dawa da ka jing tokit banlap ya ki jing shisha baro halor kani ka kam bamsap na kapla pisa jongki patba
The people in government, rather, I must say, we go by the spirit of collective responsibility. Therefore, the people in government have to share the responsibility of protecting the interests of the state. Now, it's very painful to see when the state is tainted with remarks which is contrary to the name and fame of this beautiful state. Today, the state government of Meghalaya has created a very unhealthy precedence to generate the kind of perception that in the state of Meghalaya, corruption is the order of the day. And it's very painful because all our forefathers, all those founding leaders of the state have made their best efforts to ensure that the state remains glued to the interests of the people and is known as a state which maintains its fiscal discipline and remains a state responsive to the needs and aspirations of the people. I salute those leaders. One after another, everywhere, they have engaged in all acts to rob the state, to satisfy their swelling greed at the cost of the state. In the instant case, if you look at the rate at which they have bought this land and decided to pay at an inflated price of rupees 85, was decided upon by the cabinet on the October 2021. This is the cabinet. This is the letter by the Urban Affairs, Department of Urban Affairs, Government of Meghalaya, which has communicated the decision of the cabinet approving the purchase of land at a highly inflated rate of 85 rupees per square feet for total of 807 acres of land. Now, if you look at this decision, now you cannot particularly allege only one particular department. The whole decision has been taken by the cabinet. You are well aware of the fact that there are ministers who, as per the rules of executive business, have the honors of responsibility in approving various proposals of their respective departments. The respective portfolios allocated to the respective ministers have piloted this proposal, and appropriately approved by the Department of Revenue and Disaster Management, and any cabinet decision that is to be considered in as far as the proposals of various departments are concerned. The cabinet items are all approved by the Chief Minister. So therefore, the three persons, the Chief Minister, the Revenue Minister, and the Minister in charge of Urban Affairs Department, have entered, if we go by all these inputs which is available before the public domain now, have entered into a criminal conspiracy to rob the state of such a huge amount of money. If you're looking at the difference comes to over 140 crores. Now these 140 crores could have been given to the landowners, the innocent landowners, the innocent villagers, who have inherited this beautiful land, who have preserved and protected this land. Now, how is it possible for the government of the day, in a democracy which revolves around the spirit of the people, by the people, for the people? Everything that we do must be for the people, by the people who are elected. To be an investigation, I have already, it is enough. This lead is enough. There's a job of the investigation team which should go into the details and go anywhere to all these villagers and ask them how much, at what rate they have sold the land. They will tell you that at the rate of 45 rupees.
Pada kitu ki kubor la pois ka bakut tar hadu bangin de champion kublai shibun.